Hey guys, DuchessDark here. Today's story was submitted by a listener. These might be my favorite kind of stories. Not only does it allow me to showcase a writer, but it also allows me to create original content for you. I try to gauge what to create for you by the amount of feedback I get by views, likes, comments, or a combination of all. Without further ado, here is Jodie. I'm not quite sure how to approach this eloquently, so I'm just going to get right to the point. I'm writing this memoir about my wife, Shelby. We have been married for 18 years, and I'm starting to have doubts. It's not that she's mean or narcissistic or anything. In fact, she is kind, selfless, funny, and beautiful. Or at least, she was. The reason I am having doubts is because of her quirk. No, quirk is the wrong word to use here. More accurately, mental illness. It started 16 years ago when Shelby and I decided to have children. She became pregnant. And 4 months into the pregnancy, we found out that the baby was going to be a girl. We both agreed to name the baby Jodie, after Shelby's aunt. However, a month later, the doctor performed an ultrasound and found that Jodie was going to be a stillborn. Shelby and I were both enraged and devastated by the news. The doctor seemed to be emotionally hurt as well from having to say the word stillborn. The doctor went on to talk about removing Jodie from Shelby's uterus, but all of a sudden, Shelby became defensive with a definitive, "No!" I was shocked by the spontaneous outburst and wondered why Shelby would want to keep Jodie inside of her, knowing she was no longer alive. She then went on and on about how she can still feel the baby kicking inside of her, and how the ultrasound machine is a liar. She became very aggressive, which is so unlike her. I had to rush her out of the hospital before she became too violent. My wife refused to believe that Jodie was no longer alive inside of her. I asked multiple psychiatrists about what to do in my situation, and they all replied with the same thing: just play along. They told me that she was going through the denial stage of grief, and the worst thing that I could do is to tell her that she was wrong, even though she clearly is. When I heard this advice, it gave me hope that we will eventually remove Jodie from Shelby. So I did play along for about a year. 1 year later, Shelby still believed that Jodie was alive inside of her, and I lost my will to play along with the madness. It was too much for me. It was frustrating, seeing Shelby staring at her enlarged stomach saying, "Can you say mommy? Say mommy. Mommy." It seemed like Shelby's body would be the eternal grave for Jodie's corpse. The psychiatrist assured me that this would only be a bout of insanity, but to this day, Shelby's denial has been consistent. It pains me to say that this is not the same girl I married. Sure, she still has her charm and sense of humor, but prior to Jodie, she was never delusional. 5 years after Jodie, and my wife was weighing in at around 250 pounds. She had quit her job to become a stay-at-home mom. She decided to homeschool and teach Jodie because she wouldn't fit in at public schools. Oh, the many nights I came home from work finding her trying to teach Jodie the ABCs or reading some Dr. Seuss books to Jodie. It has gotten even worse over the years. Shelby now weighs in at around 400 pounds. And with a combination of her weight gain and mental illness, I am no longer physically attracted to her. I often tell my wife that I am gonna spend some time with the boys from work, but really, I'm in a hotel room, fucking some random hooker. I know that sounds terrible, but she has become someone else, inside and out. Last night I said to her, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I am deeply concerned about your health. You're a different person. You're acting like a fucking lunatic, and you're eating everything you fucking see. To which she replies, Number 1, don't swear in front of Jodie. Number 2, Jodie is a growing girl going through puberty, and I need to feed her enough nutrients. She's still on an umbilical cord, you know. She then tries to go on about how smart of a girl Jodie is. How she reads books like Infinite Jest and The 3-Body Problem to Jodie. And how she and Jodie often have conversations about Newton's law of gravity or some shit. Jodie is dead, Shelby. She's been dead for 15 years. Get the fuck over it. Shelby starts crying while I roll my eyes. There was an awkwardness in the air when we went to bed because of the dispute earlier. We hardly said a word to each other. Our bed is an ultra-large king size, which became a necessity because of Shelby's ever-increasing size. Shelby occupies the right side of the bed, but sleeps on her left side. I was nearly asleep when Shelby asked me to listen to her belly. I played along like I have so many times before. Lying there, my ear was a half an inch from her belly. And as I was about to drift off to sleep, I heard a slightly muffled, adolescent female voice coming from Shelby's stomach, saying, "Good night, Daddy. I love you." Well, I don't know about you, but suddenly I have a craving for pickles. See you next time.